Well, you made it. It is National Tile Day, and today is the first day of the Tile Happy Hour. Today is the beginning of a conversation that we don't ever want to end. We are here to serve you, and what better day to start our broadcast than on National Tile Day? John, we made it.
I am really happy.
I can tell you're a loss for words, John. This has been a long time planning, and it's here. And the tile community is lucky enough to have us two self-proclaimed experts to guide them and put them through this community, so you can learn more about tile, what is going on in the industry, whether it's technically or design or manufacturing, whatever. That's what this live stream and podcast is all about. And today is National Tile Day, the best day to start it. John, why are you a self-proclaimed expert? What gives you the right?
Well, I just love tile and stone. It's in my blood, and I'm really excited to be doing this with you. It is just incredible. I'm really speechless. This is so exciting. There's been a lot of talk and buzz about people supporting the cause, about having the conversation, as you always say, and it's all about elevating the industry, elevating the products to the level, and just keep bringing the level up and up. And the industry has responded with the technologies, with the marketing, with all the exciting things going on in the industry. And for us to be able to come together every Friday at 4:00 to talk about it, not only between us two tile geeks, but all the tile geeks out there in the world. I know you're out there. I'd like to personally welcome every single one of you. This is really exciting.
Absolutely. And John, I prefer tile nerd.
Okay.
I preferred. I spent 20 years in the installation industry, learning and soaking up as much as I can. And I love this opportunity to serve this community. It's always been a passion of mine to try to help others expand what they can do, whether it's in their personal life or in their business life. And the tile industry, I know it in and out because I've been doing it for 20 years. Well, let's take care of some housekeeping first.
All right, good idea.
This is a conversation between John and I, but it's also a conversation with everyone out there. So as you saw on the banner, we have a time of questions and answers, and we are watching your comments live. Send those in, and we will get to them. Hopefully we'll get more than we don't get to all of them, because there's so many people out there. But we're going to do our best to try to stay on topic and answer your questions about the tile and stone industry. Or, it's happy hour. We're also going to talk about drinks maybe. But if you're not watching live, because this is being recorded and it'll be rebroadcast, we still want to hear from you. So drop a comment down below wherever you're watching, on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. What else did I miss? Anything there, drop a comment. We'll respond to it and you'll get our opinion, whether you like it or not.
I'm interested in seeing which platforms kind of attract the most amount of attention. I know that a lot of people in their personal lives have just one social channel. Some have all of them. And I'm wondering which platform is going to show what it's going to show us. That's going to be pretty exciting. And we could
that will be interesting to see. Maybe we'll get a good idea of how that happens today.
Well, that's where
today is Thursday.
Yes, today is Thursday. Our show is actually every Friday. So don't be confused, because we also had a pregame on Monday night this week, and then we had today's launch. And the reason we have today's launch is a very strategic reason. We're going to tell you about that in a moment. But going forward, every Friday, 4 p.m., tune in to this happy hour.
Friday, 4 p.m. Too. Kristen's here. Thanks, Kristen, for joining in. Look forward to hearing more from you. And that's what it looks like. When you send us something, we can respond live on the air. And we got a tile bar cheers. My tile bar nerds, that's it. That's us. We're here to discuss all of your tile ball nerd needs. Now, Monday night, I think it got pointed out several times that there was a fail.
Oh, really?
We didn't have any cocktails.
Oh, yes.
So did we? We've been working through technical stuff. Did we fix that?
I fixed it. Besides the fact I have a bar behind me, I did not have a cocktail Monday night, but I do have my cocktail tonight. So I wanted to. It's early. It's 4 o'clock. Make believe it's Friday at 4. But cheers to everyone out there. What about you, Craig?
Well, I will say cheers also. And Zach has given us a cheers also. But I went back with what I had on Monday. This is my Leroy mug, and I can tell you the story about that later. But that's got, I'm from the South, so it's got my sweet tea in it. And I didn't open the cocktail drawer. We were trying to troubleshoot some stuff before, so I had to keep it to make sure I got the right plugs in the right place.
Yeah, so last week's fail, it was both Craig and I. Now it's just you this week with the fail, without a real drink. I have my single malt Scotch, Balvenie Caribbean casket, 14 year. So today is a day to break this out.
That sounds fancy. I know nothing about Scotch other than my ancestors are from that island, but I am pretty awesome. So I'm assuming whatever alcohol comes from there is pretty awesome too. And so yes, Joshua, let's go National Tile Day. What?
Yes. Hey, we'd like to give a shout out to Josh because he is one of our first contributors to the show. A bunch of people as well. So hopefully they come back.
What do you call that? An early adapter. He's an early adapter.
Yes, exactly. That's a good one. Yeah, or the Founders Club. So everyone here today is in our Founders Club. So today is the official day. Josh and a few other people have the pregame street creds, but everyone here, what we really love is just make a comment on where you're calling from, where you're watching from. Put a little post and ask a question, make a comment. We'd love to. And Craig happens to have a little graphic there. What city are you watching from? Wow, you're pretty organized.
Hey, man, that's why I couldn't drink. I had to type this stuff up.
All right, I'll do that.
Yeah, obviously this is the internet. You could be watching from anywhere in the world. We'd love to know where you're watching from. I am watching, and we're broadcasting separately. I am in the heart of the South, Raleigh, North Carolina, and John is just north
from New York. Yeah, lovely New York City is my home base here. I cover the whole metropolitan area and representing all the tile. So I'm identifying now as a tile nerds, right? Instead of tile.
Yeah, tile nerd. I think nerd sounds better.
Tile nerds for the whole northeast of the country, and we want to know where everyone else is from. That would be.
Yeah, I thought you were from Georgia.
Yes, with my accent, I am from Georgia. Correct.
We got a fellow in New York. We know this guy.
All right, yeah, Zach from Inwood, New York. That is headquarters, home base.
HQ, baby, HQ. He's on his break in his office.
Yeah, Zach, you're on the break.
Get back to it. Those phones are ringing, Zach.
We'll cover for you that you're on your break.
That's right. And we got Josh, our OG from Philadelphia, living in Evanston. But Zach, I guess, is originally from Arizona.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, you know what I find? There are very few people that are from elsewhere in the country that come to like a suburb, say like Long Island, where Arizona is a place that usually people are going to see Zach come this way. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we got Bonnie. It's snowing in Michigan, and then my neighbor down south, Amy, from Clayton, North Carolina. That's where my son was born. He wasn't born in Clayton. They don't have a hospital there, but well, that's awesome. Now, John, tell me what's special about today.
Well, what's special about today is I know it's on everyone's calendar. It's been on everyone's family calendar perpetually. It is National Tile Day, and us tile people really, I'm trying to be a little more politically correct there. Tile people, be more inclusive.
Yes.
Craig, I just thought that would be important. And it commemorates the industry, the exciting developments in the industry and where we've come from and where we're going. And it's the 7th year of the National Tile Day. It was actually created by the smart people over at the Coverings Tradeshow, which is the largest tile and stone show in North America that happens every year. That's been happening for many years. We'll definitely talking about that in a little bit. So National Tile Day is the day to commemorate that, and it's kind of we talked about us doing a pregame for our podcast, which started today. It's actually the pregame in so many ways for the Coverings Trade Show and Conference, which is happening in Orlando, Florida, coming up real soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And National Tile Day, if you saw our bumper we did today, I woke up excited about National Tile Day. There's only so many days in a year, and when our industry can have one all to itself, then you got to get excited.
You know what? I actually have a surprise for you, Craig.
Oh no, I love surprises.
Yes. Have you heard of artificial intelligence? I'm not trying to accuse you of anything, but have you heard of
That's the only intelligence I have.
Okay. Yes, that's where I was heading. Have you heard of ChatGPT?
I love ChatGPT. All the things that you've seen written that I've done, I didn't really do it. I just plugged it into ChatGPT.
Well, I don't know do you know what GPT stands for?
I do not know what GPT.
Next show, let's get on it. So I like to tell everyone what I just did a few moments ago. I asked ChatGPT to write a short poem celebrating National Tile Day. That's all I said. Within 3 seconds, this is what I got back.
Okay.
I think I said for a greeting card. Yeah.
Okay.
For a greeting card. Happy National Tile Day. Let's celebrate in style with patterns and colors that make us smile. From mosaics to subway tiles so sleek, they add a touch of elegance to any unique mystique. Let's raise a toast to these tiles so fine for bringing beauty to our floors, walls, and designs. On this special day, we honor their grace and appreciate the artistry in each tile space. So, here's to the tile on this day so grand. May its beauty and durability always stand. Happy National Tile Day. Let's make it known that tiles are more than just a simple stone.
Wow.
I am thrilled and scared all at the same time.
We are all losing our jobs. If we can figure out how to give arms to that ChatGPT thing, then yes, we're going to lose our jobs.
If you happen to be watching and you happen to be working for Hallmark, I know some companies that are looking for employees because I don't know after that, does Hallmark really need you to write greeting cards? That's
good. My wife is not watching right now, but that's a good way to write a card.
50% of our audience on Monday. That's really a problem,
Yeah, well, she said she could only give me 1 day a week. So if we broadcast twice, I got to pick one. But yeah, that's a good way. How can AI help me further my relationship with my wife? I think that's
a good conversation. And I know we didn't talk about this, Craig, but I have a second surprise.
Oh, gosh.
I asked the same question to write a poem about the John and Craig, but the Tile Happy Hour podcast featuring or co-hosted by John and Craig. That's all I said to it.
Okay.
And this is what it said. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, of course.
All right. The Tile Happy Hour has arrived with John and Craig as our guide. We learn about tiles designed so fine and sip on drinks. It's happy time. Each episode, a new surprise as we explore the world of tiles. From kitchen floors to bathroom walls, our hosts will make sure we have a ball. So here's to John and Craig, our hosts. Their passion for tiles, we will toast. With each new episode, and we'll learn and play and raise a glass to to the Tile Happy Hour. Hooray. This is insane. This was like 2 minutes ago I did this.
I love that. I think that should probably be on our bios or something.
Yeah.
We should have that written somewhere. We should make a video about it.
We're going to be doing greeting cards for Tile Happy Hour.
Yes.
So.
It's next year, we're going to release greeting cards for National Tile Day, written by John and Craig.
Yeah. Well, I did check. Do you have to give credit to AI? I asked that question and they said no. But we're full disclosure here.
Okay, well that's good. That's good.
I could have said I was going to that I wrote those, but you wouldn't have believed me.
I wouldn't have believed you. Zach would have believed you, but he said they're pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So John, National Tile Day was started by Coverings.
Yeah. So Coverings has been around since 1990, I believe, and it's an industry trade show, and I've actually literally attended, and also exhibited. I had a wholesale company. I had 4 10x10 booths, 10x40 booths for many, many years. Wow. I've exhibited at many shows.
As this was your father's tile company when?
This is a family business. My brothers and we had a company that we wholesaled a high-end product from Rome that I actually had a hand in designing, handmade terracotta tile. Really high-end, very exclusive tile, and we had a trade show. We were at the Covering show. We kind of brought in new dealers, and we set up dealers, and new dealers came and refreshed their sample boards. So my most intense days at Coverings is as an exhibitor. A company was called Artistone Tile and Stone. But the other years, I should say, is just being an owner of a tile retail 4 tile stores in New York at the time. So being a buyer, being a shopper, attending all the conferences, learning and mingling and networking. So I've attended every single Coverings. I have not missed one Coverings, and wow. I think it's year 30, 33 or something like that. I do have a picture. I have to dig it up. It's me, a tad bit slimmer, and in a white, like Miami Vice suit, like a white jacket, white pants, and like a narrow tie. It is mind blowing. I have to dig it up. And if I'll give it to
fail
you.
On our part for not having that hand. I mean, so I want to ask everybody out there: have you attended Coverings? And let me go back to this one. And how many have you done? How many have you been to?
That's a good question.
I know as a young tile whippersnapper in the year 2000, I think I went to Coverings for the first time in maybe 2002. And I remember coming from Eastern North Carolina. I had not been very many places in life. And I remember getting to the Orlando Convention Center and thinking, this is the biggest building I have ever been in my life. And it is full of stuff that I'm supposed to know about. I was very overwhelmed. And as an installer, I wasn't looking for anything in particular. I took advantage of the classes and the NTCA offerings, and I think TCNA was still around at that point in time, and learned so much and met so many great people that were doing the same thing I was doing every day. And that was the greatest thing about Coverings for me. As you know, I was 26 at the time and just trying to learn the industry, trying to meet people in the industry. And it was fun, amazing. And I've been back. I've not been 30 plus times like you have, but I have been back on several occasions, and I look forward to being there this year.
I'd like to paint the picture for people. The trade show is so large that there's only maybe 5 or 6 venues. We have to check with show management, but I think there's only 5 or 6 places in the country. What is that?
You made the Coverings homepage. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not the homepage, it's the about page. There's a picture of you. Who did you pay to put you on their website?
I have not seen that.
It's you look short there. But
I was at a booth.
Man.
Yeah, well,
hair was funny.
The guy next to me was the largest. It was an exhibition about the largest man in the tile industry, and apparently I was talking with him. No, I think it's the angle of the camera. I don't know what's going on with my hand there. I mean, I didn't know they were taking a picture. And I don't know.
Well, I mean, if I am no one in the Coverings organization, but I feel like you may be the face of coverings, according to this. What I
Oh,
see
actually,
here.
I see Landmark. Okay, so Landmark is a manufacturer of porcelain tile, U.S.-based exterior products, interior products. Really great company, and yeah, I kind of remember going to the booth. I don't remember a picture being taken.
I'll plug it real quick. If you have not registered for coverings, the website's on the screen. We also have a link in the description. You need to register. You need to go. If you do anything in the tile industry, this convention or trade show will be beneficial. So, and John, tell me the cost of what it costs to attend coverings.
So it's about $1,000, and minus the coupon, it's free.
You're trying to pad your pockets. It's not. It says right there. There's no cost.
Oh. I was going to say they could send it into our show and we'll get them free tickets.
Right. You can send it into our show. We'll upgrade. But
we'll get the backstage pass.
That's right. We'll give you a personal tour.
You know what? Being a former exhibitor of coverings, I could not believe. There's a parking lot that has an insane amount of container ships empty, where factories from all over the world, let's say from Spain or from Italy, send their booths, months in advance, because it has to arrive on time. They're building booths, not 10 by 10 booths. They're building like 100 by 100 booths or bigger, sometimes 2 stories.
Yeah.
And they have to bring multiple containers of display material, tile samples, setting materials, and literally have to send crews over by plane to set them up in hotels. And a few weeks before the show, you're actually setting up the show. So when you think of the cost of putting a show like this together, it's monumental. It's not just those 4 days, that Tuesday through Friday.
Absolutely.
It's like
they're there for a very long time.
It really is amazing. And when you walk in, it is the tallest ceilings and the biggest buildings you ever saw. I could say some of the biggest places are the Orlando Convention Center, where this is being held. Vegas, right, is a venue. Chicago,
it's almost as big as your house.
It is, actually. And I'm just in awe. And there's many cities that maybe want to have coverings, but they can't. It's just not large enough to handle the amount of people.
I agree with you, Bonnie. Chicago. That's my favorite one, is Chicago.
Is Chicago where you have these 2 buildings you have to cross, or is that Atlanta? Where there's 2 buildings?
I think that was Atlanta. Chicago. Last time I was in Chicago, which was 2018. Was it 2018?
They've had it in Chicago a few times. They've had it, I remember in New Orleans once. They had it when the show was smaller in Miami. And I believe the first show, which I was there, was Anaheim, California. I have to check with show management, but I think it was Anaheim.
Wow.
It was definitely a show in Anaheim. I think that was the first show. It was actually called Tile and Stone, World Tile and Stone Exhibition, I believe. And
okay. Rick wants to know what your favorite venue was.
My favorite venue is Orlando for the following reason. It is the picture perfect trade show venue. I mean, the other shows have its benefits, Chicago City, right, Vegas, all that, and they're all great. I mean, they really are all great.
There's not a loser in the bunch.
No, but when you talk about Orlando, which is kind of the home base for coverings, I think we have the show there, most often.
Yeah, I think they normally do like 2 shows there, then a show away.
Yeah.
And then something like that.
You know what? First place, there's the most rental cars in the world are in Orlando. I mean, literally, that's a fact. Number 2, the show is like one big monster square hall. There's no like 2 levels. There's no across the street. And, all those other venues pull off the show fine. But the coverings in Orlando is really great. You can get your bearings straight because you walk in, you know exactly this one big monster floor plan. And it's kind of easy to navigate. So I do love Orlando, but I know other people have favorites, and we'd love to hear about it.
My favorite was Chicago, and mainly because of the city.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it had nothing to do with the actual event. The actual event was great, loved it, but I just enjoyed Chicago. I enjoy the blues. I'm a blues fan.
Oh, that's cool.
And so that was my favorite.
Craig,
Rachel confirmed Atlanta has the 2 buildings with the bridge.
Okay. And that's cool. It's like fun to do that and stuff. But when it's just talking about pure logistics, I think Orlando takes the cake for my.
It makes it easy. And I mean, Las Vegas is good, but you're right. I mean, pure logistics. Las Vegas, you do a lot of walking.
Yeah, I mean, all these shows you do walk going from booth to booth. I believe I read there was like over 1,000 exhibitors. I'm sure that's the case from all over the world, many dozens and dozens of countries. You know, me growing up in the tile industry, I only thought Italians made tile. I didn't know anyone else made
That's
tile.
right.
And but yeah, it's pretty amazing, the building materials industry, particularly the tile industry. It's really exciting. You mentioned before, Craig, TCNA, NTCA, ABCDEF. What were we talking about?
Yeah, there's a lot of different acronyms out there. But as an installer, you know, I talk to our team a lot about ANSI, TCNA, CTEF, and all those are what helps me guide our team or anybody else, clients, anybody that calls in and asks a question about installation methods and how material is made and what what are the specifications. But the biggest thing is the NTCA, which is the National Tile. They changed their name. Gosh, TCNA, Tile Council of North America.
Craig,
they used to be the NTCA.
Wait, I have to interrupt you. Let it be known for the record that Craig Cahoon, the co-host of the show, forgot the word tile.
But they make
momentarily
the what we call in the industry the Tile Installation Bible, and that is they're a big sponsor of coverings, and so they most of the time the stage presentations, whether it's from Latacrete or Schluter or whoever, they're showing an installation. Normally that's presented by the Tile Council of North America, and that's really to promote good installations and to promote contractors to do it right, not just do it because they've been doing it for 20 years. You know, as a young contractor, I used to hear that all the time. Son, I've been doing it this way for 20 years and it hadn't fallen off the wall yet. Well, it's because they don't have a cell phone. They didn't answer the phone call when it did fall off the wall. It does. It happens. You got to do it right. And so I work every day trying to make sure our team and our clients have the best installation, the best information to have the best installation.
But at the trade
but
shows,
I noticed John Tedesco asked the question, what's your other favorite trade shows?
I didn't know I asked
there's a couple of different ones in our industry. I know as a contractor, coverings is the largest, but there's also surfaces. There is the CTDA, which is for distributors. John, what is obviously coverings is your favorite, but what gives you a second?
I have two other favorite trade shows. One is in New York, one's in Vegas. Every year, it's the BDNY show, Boutique Design New York.
Oh yeah,
that's Jacob Javits Center. It's similar to the HD show in Vegas. It's boutique design, hotels, hospitality. Really exciting show, high quality attendees. And then the HD Expo in Vegas is also the same clientele, you know, different coast, but it also all the big players are there, every hotel brand and every size level. Where BDNY is a little more boutique, as the name said. Both great shows, and I've been to both and enjoyed both of them and found them really, really valuable. It's really pretty cool to see. Because you know what? Hotels get every product, everything that you need, right? Everything from, you know, the fanciest hairdryer and iron to the surfaces to the paint to.
Well, there's good reason for that. I mean, if it's in the Hilton and I use it and like it, it's like I need to find one of those for my house.
You know what? When I had my showrooms, when glass tile was introduced, first I was wrong. I thought it was a fad, and I was like, this is not going to go anywhere.
This will never last.
Yeah, so I was wrong. It happens.
Let's write that down.
Yes.
John Tedesco was wrong about glass tile.
February 23rd, and I found that most of my customers who really came in asking for glass. Let me rephrase that. Every customer that came in asking for glass tile on the onset says, I went on a trip and I was at a hotel and I saw this glass tile bathroom. It was like a spa bathroom. That's what I want. I could tell you that in the beginning, it's exactly how it happened. And then the installers would bid a glass tile the same price as like a 4.25, U.S. ceramic tile. And then they'd call me up, screaming like, this stuff's hard to put in. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, it's not hard. It's just different. You can't use the same exact procedures as you have. You got to like read the instructions, which some contractors.
But I've been setting tile for 20 years, John.
My point, exactly. So, and then I actually worked for a Southern California glass tile manufacturer, Oceanside Glass Tile, in New York City. I was
their tops, man.
Only employee.
It's hard to beat their glass.
Yeah, the glass products are really cool. And so Oceanside Glass and other factories, when you make a mosaic, you have to either put a netting on the back of the tile, which makes a tile a mosaic, right? The definition of mosaic is a tile of a certain size, small, that's netted or mounted some way. And there's usually 3 ways of mounting a tile, like the little caulking between each tile, kind of like Dow, American Olean kind of do that, maybe old Woodburn. Then
it's called thermoplastic.
Yeah, wow. And then there's a netting on the back, usually a netting of some sort of nylon netting that's glued to the back of the tile. And some companies use a paper face mounting on a surface or a clear plastic that you can see through. And Oceanside was embraced the paper face surface because once you remove that paper, you have 100% bond to the setting material.
Absolutely.
Am I talking? You should be telling us this, Craig.
I'm so glad I taught you this. That's what.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
I tell our team all the time, and paper face mounted tile is an installation. If you're not used to it, it's difficult, but it is the best way to install glass mosaics. It's all about coverage when you're looking at having a tile success. And the paper face, and now they do plastic faced, which is, in my opinion, a little more difficult, but it gives you the opportunity to have 100% coverage. And if I were advising somebody today or in the next whatever, I would say that's the only way to set a pool. If you're setting a pool with glass tile, I would only use front mounted tile.
Right. Yeah. It depends on the scenario, right? There are definitely some mounted ones netted that work well, but I know the handbook really loves the paper face mounted for wet applications. But we're getting really technical.
It's almost impossible to get the coverage necessary with a rear mounted mosaic. So,
talking about tiles, there's also something pretty interesting that was released just in the last 24 hours.
Oh, do I hear a scoop?
Yes.
You got a scoop?
I do have a scoop. So there's a designer called Elena Capra. She is the spokesperson for the Coverings Tradeshow, and she works with industry professionals every year to come up with trends in the tile industry, the top tile trends, and they just released. And because we're a podcast, and so now officially privy to this information.
Yeah,
are
we media?
Yes.
We're media. That's awesome.
Yes. So we have a scoop for everybody of the top 10 tile trends this year, and all of these trends you can see at Coverings Show coming up in just about 6 weeks. Awesome. I think we have some graphics or some.
Yeah, you wanna go through those?
Yeah, let's do that. So there's the Coverings Show.
Yeah, so they had 10 of them. I thought they were, for one thing, the photography and stuff that they sent us was bar none. They did a great job. And John, you're the design guy. I just try to figure out I'll tell you if I want to install it or not. And
all right, it's a deal. Okay. So brick tile. So, what does brick tile mean? Brick tile is kind of synonymous with subway tile, right?
That's
subway
right.
tile is usually a 3" by 6" inches, at least if you go to New York City subways, that's what you see, 3" by 6" subway tile, usually beat the heck. And
still on the wall though, I bet.
Still on the wall, it is. And a lot of other stuff on top of it that we won't say what it is, but so brick tile has evolved from 3" by 6" subway tiles to almost anything rectangular except a big, large format really isn't called brick tile.
Right. I would say like from a 1 inch by 2 inch, up to what would you say, a 4 by 12 kind of be the
Yeah. I
range I
mean,
would put brick in?
well, there are companies that have 2 inch by 20 inch tiles, ceramic wall tile. That's still a brick tile. So it's hard to put
That's true.
it's hard to put a limit on it.
I would almost call that a plank, though.
Nah, we
No?
still call them a brick tile.
Okay.
So that's a brick tile. That's a subway tile, and I think the reason it's a top 10 trend is because of the varying sizes now.
Gotcha.
Cemented tile. So another way of saying this is probably as a cement feel or cement look tile, and caustic is a word that's really been in the tile industry forever. It's pretty much concrete poured into little channels like a cookie cutters with different colors and patterns. And if you look on the top left there, that kind of resembles an encaustic tile. It's probably a porcelain there. And the other ones are kind of terrazzo looking, which are kind of cement tiles with stone. What about installing? Does all cement tiles need to be sealed, Craig?
If they're made out of actual cement, yes. But I have noticed there's been, and this is all goes back to naming it, there's been cement tiles that are porcelain. Now, porcelain, there's a conflicting information on that. Do you need to seal it? Don't you? Sealing it doesn't hurt. It may not help either, but it doesn't hurt. But cement tiles, cement is very porous, and I would anything that has a cement base to it, whether it's a terrazzo tile or a terracotta-ish looking tile, I would definitely pre-seal it before you grout it, and then seal it again afterwards.
Now, tell us about if you have a tile that doesn't have much porosity or no porosity, and you apply a sealer. There's very specific, important instructions on what you need to do with that sealer after you put it on.
Yeah, the biggest thing is if you're applying a sealer to really any tile, but do not let it puddle up. Do not let the sealer sit on there. It's not going to absorb. It needs to be wiped clean. And when in the process of wiping it clean, you'll push whatever can fit into those pores. If you let it puddle or dry on the face of the porcelain, it's going to create a milky looking substance. Other than being annoying, you can fix it, but that's what happens.
Yeah, it's really bad. I think of it as like a piece of wood that's been stained already. You put another fifth application of stain on top, and it's like there's enough. It's not, no more is going to get absorbed. So you need to wipe it off. So more goes on the rag in the end, but it's still helpful if there was a little pore and there was a little porosity left, and you putting in that last coat of sealer. And it's really not a coating, really. It's just an application.
Right.
Because technically we're not using topical like the old silicone sealers anymore.
Correct.
That yellowed and cracked. So whatever absorbs in, and what doesn't, you remove.
It helps with maintenance. So
yeah.
Cobbled tile.
Cobbled tile. So cobbled tile, by the name describes, is kind of describing the look of the tile. Typically, you think of the edge of the tile. When I hear cobbled tile, I'm thinking of a tile that's sometimes been like tumbled looking, or a variegated edge that's kind of been chiseled.
But I think like a clicky cloppy Boston street.
Yeah. Well, we've all heard the term cobbled stone, which is typically lining driveways, and that's kind of like a Belgian bluestone that's kind of undulated in a way, and so cobbled is a little bit of an uneven surface, and usually I think of it as usually exterior looking.
Right.
Yeah.
I see they got it in a lobby there, but now people are designing lobbies.
Yeah, I see a few installed.
Make it feel like an outdoor space.
Yeah. What else we got?
Yeah, well, I thought this was dying 10 years ago. Well, not that long, but 5 years ago. I didn't think wood look tile was going to be around.
Well,
evidently, it's here to stay.
Yeah, it is actually, and it's because of the technology. But I have to say, when I had my tile showrooms, we imported Italian wood-looking planks from a factory called Cerim, C-E-R-I-M. It was very expensive at the time. We were the first people to bring it in, and it completely flopped. Nobody liked it. Nobody wanted it. It was ahead of its time. Everyone's like, I don't get it. And what happened was nobody wanted a tile that looked like something else that really wasn't it. They didn't want it. But technology wasn't there where the variation in the faces existed. And then it kind of made its play. But what you see in this picture, particularly straight ahead, the tile that has the chair in front of it,
yeah,
that's like a super elevated. That's like many trends built in one, like a dimensional product that looks like timber, like strips of wood And I'm familiar with a product called Kenridge that's 24-inch by 48-inch panels that when you put it together, you really don't read what size the tile it is. You're looking at just those strips. I'm not sure if that's Kenridge or not, but that it looks like very similar. And then to the left of that indoor-outdoor space, that's a typical look for a porcelain tile. It looks like wood, and then below that looks like a chevron, I believe.
Yeah. And the greatest thing about the wood look tile is you get the warm feeling of wood, but yet you get the cleanability and the maintenance of tile, which is far exceeds wood. You don't ever have to sand and refinish a tile floor.
You know what, Craig? The biggest decision to make in a home is the kitchen floor, because if you do love wood and you want wood throughout a good part of your home, you also going to hesitate putting tile in the kitchen because you have wear patterns between the sink, the refrigerator, and the stove. And yes, wood can always be restored. Always restore wood, but the challenge or the logistical issues of bringing someone in, you can't just sand that one spot. So you have to maybe do a bigger area that maybe interrupts your life, and you have to seal it.
And people worry about tile being cold underfoot, and we have solutions for that now.
Yes, we do. So there's big resurgence of a wood tile. So well, what's this? Emerald City tile.
I feel like we're off to see the wizard.
So when I see that, I think of biophilic. Biophilic is a term, bringing kind of like the outdoors inside, very natural, organic looking. Emerald is of course green. So this is kind of, to me, like a combination of biophilic and a nature.
Kind of makes me feel like going to the tropics and getting a drink with an umbrella.
Yeah, so at least I think one or two of those pictures show like floral kind of designs, and then others are just swirly marble look.
This is the most interesting sort of.
Enduring elegance tile. So when you think of elegance, I think of, and most people think of marble or onyx or travertines, right? So I think this is an ode to the fact that the elegant tiles have been a trend, but also are enduring. So that those two things together make it a trend, because it just keeps going. And with the technology, with the faces of the product, I said that before. Can you tell people about what that means?
Yeah. Looking at those tiles on that screen, you would think some of them are stone, but they're not. And just as your Canon inkjet printer makes a picture that you print off your computer, they do the same thing on a tile in an HD scale that takes hundreds of different pictures of natural substances, wood, whatever you want. They print it on the tile, and then the tile finishes the manufacturing process, and it's there forever, which has made the tile industry mimic the stone to a sense where I don't know that stone is losing any shares, but it's, once again, the maintenance on it's better, the cost is less, and the look is the same. And when I look at this enduring elegance, I think of a boutique lobby in a boutique hotel, or the Coach store on Fifth Avenue, or wherever John lives. That's kind of what I think when I think of this enduring elegance, and the fact that porcelain tile that can hardly be destroyed or stained can look like these stones is pretty cool.
You know what? But I'd like to make something clear. When we say National Tile Day, and when we talk about coverings, it's including natural stone.
Sure.
It's just where it's been really exciting is to be able to look. Everyone knows, the Hamptons house with marble in it and has the unlimited budget, right? So stone has always been on point, but where it's exciting is where we could bring in a product that's maybe easier to install, maybe doesn't have any maintenance, definitely less cost. So that's really the exciting part, because real marble has always been exciting. It is exciting. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous, cost effective. If you want something beautiful and natural looking.
So what you're telling me is Raleigh, North Carolina here can have a house look like the Hamptons, but for part of the cost.
Yes. Did you see that link I sent you, that mobile home kind of built in the Hamptons? It was really
Yes.
Montauk.
I
It was
did.
$3.75 million. It was location, 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 but it was pretty much like a little
It's my
trailer,
ancestors.
and it was almost $4 million. So
Yeah.
Mother Nature inspired indoor outdoor tile. So you see here some terracotta tiles. So
Yep.
Koto looks, terracotta looks, stone looks, very much inspired by nature in that biophilic feel, but that's not necessarily floral or veiny or like leaves and greenery.
Yeah.
More of like natural looking material. I think of sienna. I think of Koto, real terracotta.
I think the outdoor life, moving the family outside to eat, and balconies and pergolas has really increased since the COVID era. We spent so much time at home during that time. People wanted to be outside, and they wanted to make their outside as nice as their inside. And the trend of having your tile run from your living room through a open glass door to your patio and be a consistent look has been very on point for the last few years. And I think that normally is Mother Nature inspired. You want it to look like a natural stone, right, or concrete load or something like that.
You know what, Craig? But there's one other thing that's below the surface. Why this is groundbreaking and why this is a trend is if you see the indoor space with the sliding doors and then the tile going outside, what's on the surface looks the same, but what's below the surface, and this is where the technology and the industry has evolved, where you have a product with different thicknesses. So
different thicknesses, but the finish is the same. You're right. You can't tell the difference walking on it or looking at it, but the composition of the system is completely different because the environment has changed. I spoke to our team about that today, about an exterior installation versus an interior installation.
Right. So the thickness of an exterior porcelain currently is 3/4 of an inch, 2 centimeters, and the thickness of an interior tile is usually 3/8 of an inch, about 10 millimeters, let's say. So there are factories now that have series. They're launching series now, and I think we'll see a lot of that at coverings. Indoor, outdoor tile, same look, same colors, different thicknesses, and so it covers both technical aspects. You don't want to put a super thick tile in your house. You don't want to put a super thin tile outside your house.
Yeah, but you keep that same sight line, that same line.
Exactly.
Wow. My wife was worried what I was typing when I was working on this one.
Yeah, well, especially with this music going on.
Yes, that's right.
Hey, while we're talking about this, we'd love to hear if anyone has a comment about any of these styles.
Yeah,
what's your trends?
I kind of got a thing already made, and so we'll throw that up there on the screen just to see what have you liked so far. What is your top one as we finish up? We only got a couple more to go.
So this is like the Barry White of tile, right? You got the sensory.
Yeah, I think so.
And so it's very textural, as you can imagine. If you were to,
that's big nowadays. Big.
Yeah. So the word sensory right there tells you like. You don't see sensory, you have to touch sensory. So
that's right.
So tiles that are dimensional, textural, and I see a lot of good examples there. That's really nice. And sometimes it's just a small area. Sometimes it's a feature wall in a bathroom or the front of a bar.
Makes you feel like you're having a spa day. And who doesn't love a spa day?
Exactly.
Hey, this is mine right here. This is where I'm from.
Well, this is where you have it left. So the 70s tile. So I guess what that means is kind of like mod, right?
Kind of throwback vintage,
Yeah.
I mean, who hasn't seen that flowered pattern on some linoleum in your grandma's bathroom with the avocado toilet? Tell me, give me a thumbs up if you had an avocado appliance at home.
And you know what? Now you can go to the Italian appliance manufacturer SMEG, S-M-E-G, and you can get a very high priced appliance that's like olive green. And it's really in. It looks like shaped like a VW Bug, like very like mod looking. So it's pretty. So yeah, 70s is back. Love it.
It is back. I hope that. I was gonna say I hope that the music doesn't come back, but I don't know. 70s. It's okay. It's okay. And this is kind of the last one that
So
we're focusing on today?
undulated. I have one to add after, so we're going to make it 11 top 10 tile trends. But undulated tile is a word that kind of means that it's kind of wavy. So if you look at the surface of the tile, that green tile is kind of like dimple, but it's kind of undulated. Each manufacturer accomplishes it in a different way, but it kind of means like a wavy surface. Usually,
I think uneven. It's not flat.
Right. It's uneven, not flat, but not geometric or dimensional. It's something that is kind of very natural looking. Like I said,
I think the unevenness flows.
Yeah,
it's like the hills.
Exactly, and it's usually with a ceramic tile because it's easier to make a ceramic tile with an undulated surface. Porcelain, it's not easy, or there's certain things you cannot do on porcelain than you could do on a ceramic tile.
Thanks, Bonnie. Bonnie loves bringing the outdoors in. I agree with you, Bonnie.
You know what? The designers like Bonnie are the ones that are on the forefront of biophilic design, and why do people hire designers? If you really didn't care about your space, don't care about your domain, you're not going to hire a designer. You're just going to slop stuff together. So a lot of people that are very concerned about their well-being. Matter of fact, we had an event last night that was about designing for wellness, and it was all about that. Yeah, it was all about the sensories and the visuals and the lighting, and steam showers. It really was really cool to learn about that. And to Bonnie's point, Bonnie's reason probably why she likes it is that clients who are hiring designers want their home to be their domain, especially after what we've been going through in the last few years. People who even say have a lot of money, who normally would take a plane and just go somewhere that's cool and get that spa treatment, they were forced to stay home. And so instead of getting that outside experience, taking a trip to Bali, let's say, they would have a really cool bathroom design.
Take that money and redo their indoor-outdoor area to give them that experience at home. Yeah, that was a necessity in 2020 or 2019.
So drum roll.
So give me the bonus. I'm dying. What's the bonus trend?
Yeah, I should have told you I had this because I would have preferred to have a drum roll. But yes, I was afraid. Yeah, I was afraid you were gonna do that. I shouldn't have said it. So anyway, modular tile, dimensional modular tile. So products that are really. There's a new product that I just saw today that was kind of inspired by dimensional fabric. So kind of a combination of dimensional, sometimes modular products, but definitely highly dimensional products, sometimes very geometric. I definitely see that as coming on super, super strong. And I'm going to give a number 12 also. Can I do that?
Oh gosh, go ahead. Yeah.
This is really huge. Terrazzo looking products. I mean, the trends that were mentioned, the last 10, a lot of them some of them fit into that category. But I just want to call out and give a shout out to Terrazzo, because that 70s look, Terrazzo, right? That natural look or the cement look, Terrazzo. So Terrazzo kind of fits into. So I guess what I'm doing is calling out a specific product that kind of fits some of those trends that already were called out by Elena Caprano.
Here's your 3D trend that we talked about earlier.
Oh, I didn't know you. Wow, that's amazing.
I can do anything, John.
That's amazing.
Oh gosh, and I just messed it up.
No, it's okay.
That's what I get for bragging.
You can do anything.
But yeah, that 3D trend is, man, it is slick. It looks good. There's some technical questions that go along with it, and I'd love to get those from whoever wants to install those because they're not going to be the easiest to grout. Let me just tell you.
Right. Let's say you have a shower and you have this really highly dimensional tile, like those triangles right there, and you want to put you're putting in shower bodies, right? And they have a flat back. You can't put it up straight against that tile, can you?
Yeah, no, you've got to go with some way to fill it in, create a barrier to tile to. and that gives you some that and grouting it are the most common questions I get about.
Right. Well, but you know what, Craig? If you love that tile and you have 14 shower heads on that one wall, maybe don't put that tile. Put the flat version of that tile on that wall, and put
making an accent.
Yeah, use the decorative, high-end, dimensional, geometric tile as a feature wall or mini walls, but the walls maybe where you have this hardware. Or I've also seen, have you seen this? A highly dimensional tile in a shower, but they want it on the wet wall where the plumbing is, and they create like a piece of marble slab, like a platform. Put that
almost like a waterfall area, even though it's a solid piece of either stone or quartz or whatever. That's a great solution for getting around that 3D and the transitions and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I feel that when you have a product that you really love and you really like, if you have a good designer, if you have a really good tile consultant, someone who's versed at the product, say at a quality tile store, be it a large store or a mom and pop brick and mortar, you have somebody you can rely on that wasn't selling blinds yesterday and selling tile today, or selling blinds today and selling tile today. But if you have a real tile expert that you could trust, because picking tile,
I know where you can find two of them.
Yes.
At Tile Happy Hour. I mean, we will not install your tile for you, but we will point you in the right direction and give you good information.
Well, to that note, let's if you're watching this on a recorded version of playback later on, then please leave a message, because we will see this. We're pretty responsive. So if you happen to be watching this after National Tile Day 2023, we will absolutely, or find us at Coverings in the halls of Coverings.
That's right.
We will answer your question. But if you're at Coverings, you're probably already a tile nerd, so that probably won't be necessary.
We can share opinions, I guess.
We could,
but
yes.
But while we're not here, there's other ways to reach us. How do you do that, John?
So we're broadcasting live now on 4 different channels. So as you know, each social channel has a message way to reach us. So there's YouTube, there's Facebook, there's LinkedIn, and Twitter. And I'm on Twitter. I know you're on Twitter. I'm still not feeling it, but it's there. And so I don't know. What do you think about Twitter?
I'm not a big tweeter. I get most of my tweets off the news, and so I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet, but I do a lot with TikTok. But I'm afraid it's about to be banned in America, so I need to figure out where all my TikTok people. My biggest following is on TikTok.
Wow!
Well, I can't broadcast live here, and doing 2 cameras is too tricky. So if you know where the TikTok people in America are going to go after TikTok, if I'm not saying, but come find me, I guess, on YouTube. And I guess Twitter, maybe I'll just put all my TikTok content on Twitter.
Well, and there is another platform that really I love, which is Instagram. We're not broadcasting on there because our technology doesn't allow us to live broadcast on Instagram. So, but that is a great way to reach both Craig and I. We probably have a graphic later that shows our handles. But we would definitely love to hear from anybody. We're really excited about our first day. This has been really exciting. I feel that this is the start of something really, really good. Craig and I have full real-time jobs besides this. And this has been a labor of love, and in the evening, on the weekends. And we're really happy you brought up something in our pregame about that this is not our show and that we want to just expand the knowledge. Tell me more about how you feel.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we as serving the community is what this show is about. So this isn't our show; it's your show. So what do you want to talk about? What do you want to learn from 2 self-professed tile nerds? And that's what this show is about. Now, yes, we're gonna have some topics, and this is not the last time we're going to talk about coverings or probably National Tile Day until next year, but we'll still revisit coverings. We're going to talk a lot about design. We're going to talk about installation, but we want to talk about what you want to talk about, because if you have a question for us, there's got to be other people out there that have the same question, and you've got our undivided attention once a week to serve you and send you content and information that hopefully will help you do your job better, or design better, or make better decisions about the tile and stone industry.
I've been thinking about tile geeks, tile nerds. I think I want to identify as tile expert going forward. So I'm going to do that.
Expert. Okay. We'll call you the expert. I'll be a nerd. And,
all right. Deal.
I don't mind.
Somebody
said, I'm just getting here. What did I miss?
Oh,
you're going to have to go to the replay. We're not starting over. I don't know who that is, LinkedIn user.
That is great. That is epic. That is epic. I don't know. We could stay another hour. No.
Another hour. Now I'm hungry, John. I haven't eaten all day. You've had me slaving
I was
away.
only kidding. Craig, I was only kidding when I said it was an hour. It really has been an hour?
Yeah, it's been an hour and a minute.
That's insane.
So time flies when you're talking tile and having fun.
That's good. Is that our new slogan? Well, folks, look out for the new tile happy hour. Or maybe we'll have a swag shop and we'll have greeting cards with our new greeting cards created by. I was super impressed by both of those. I'll send those to you, Craig. We got to do something fun with that.
Yeah, we'll do something fun with those.
Because I'm just blown away, and I'm let's just put it on the record. AI, I am scared and excited. It is insane. It's just, and what seems to be, it just seems to be multiplying. Like iRobot, like it's just multiplying so fast, and it's just amazing where it's going to take us.
Well,
I'm predicting the two of us will not be two of us in like 8 months from now. This show will be avatars.
It'll be Max Headroom. If anybody's old enough to remember Max Headroom, that's what's going to happen.
Yes, and you and I will just be, back in our hometowns having a drink and watching it. I
guess if we can monetize it, it'll be okay. But
that's the
plan. This is a great. Thanks for the coverings team for giving us that sneak peek of the tile trends. I'm like you. I look forward to seeing that in person in April. And if you haven't registered for coverings, go to the link in the description, register. It doesn't cost a dime to go and see. And if you've never done that, I'd say it is worth a flight and a hotel room to go and do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're in love with the tile industry and the products and a tile geek, nerd, or expert like we are, share this broadcast with others, because there's a lot of information, because the whole premise of the show is really to educate the industry, because everyone has a lot of knowledge, but not every one person has all the knowledge. Mm-hmm. So if we could kind of like help teach you out there, the experts, or just bring something that you haven't heard of, because we have two different perspectives. We have a lot of different backgrounds, and we'd love to share that with you. So what about next week's show? When is that?
Next week's show is going to be Friday at 4:00. So this time it was Thursday because it's National Tile Day. But next week, Friday at 4:00, we're going to finish up your week. So that way you're not missing any work. Like for those of you that have skipped out on work to watch us, we appreciate it, but we don't want you to get in trouble. So next week, it's going to be on Friday at 4:00. And I think we have some design. We're going to talk maybe a little bit more about design next week. John, what's
yeah, we have. I'm not going to say it's. I'll let AI.
It's another top secret John-ism.
Well, the truth is, I'm going to let AI decide what we're going to talk about next week.
So AI will be picking our topic for next week.
Yes.
Or you can pick the topic.
And you know what? Zach probably wasn't kidding before. He was on a break. I haven't heard from him, so he probably.
Yeah, that's right. He probably had to go back to work and answer some more calls. And
the boss came around and like, "Are you watching that crap?"
Yeah, Casey was the one who joined in late. Shauna saying good afternoon. I don't know if that's good afternoon hello or good afternoon goodbye, but
all right,
Shauna, if you missed it, this is probably good afternoon goodbye.
Well, we'll take it as not a goodbye. It means we'll see you later. So folks,
Absolutely.
this is John Tedisco. I'm really happy that you joined not the encore, the launch of the Tile Happy Hour. Really excited to be part of this. We're really excited that you're a part of it, because without you, it's just Craig and I talking to each other. That's really creepy. So this is John Tedisco. I'd like to wish you a happy hour. And I'd really like to wish you peace, health, and happiness.
And as always, tile the world.